this is an ancient practice and it deserves, like everyone deserves the access to it. I think from level 2 to level 3, what shifted was the depth of my intuition.
So it becomes that thread like you were
Yes.
talking about.
Yeah.
It's kind of ingrained in you now, and sometimes you're like, ooh, like I am doing Reiki all
Yeah.
the time, and it's just part of me now.
Yeah. This is a birthright.
Good afternoon from the Bali Corner. It's Morgan and Justina here. So we thought we'd do a little interview series so you could get to know Justina better and what she offers here at Haven. But I have a fun little question I'd like to start with, just so we can kind of get to know you in a different way.
Cool.
Here it comes.
Holding on to my hat.
Paint for us your ideal morning. What would your ideal morning look like?
Whoa, that is so nice. Yeah, wow. Okay, ideal morning, sleeping in, no alarm. Okay, no alarm at all. Like I wake up when my body's like, you're done resting. And then making my coffee and like really mindfully making my coffee and sitting outside just like under like shade. It's a gorgeous day. It's really nice out. Getting to hear the birds and just like wake up with them, I think is like really nice. And then a delicious breakfast. Always have to have a delicious
You know my Taurus girl lots of breakfast.
Always have to have a delicious breakfast. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I would love to share that morning with you.
Come on over.
Oh, wow. Ooh. Well, that's just a lovely way to start and paint the picture. But what we're really here to dive into is the art of Reiki. So I wanted to start by asking you when Reiki found you.
Ooh,
And
okay.
at that point, what did it mean to you? Like, what was Reiki for you when it found you?
Yeah. So I first started Reiki in 2020 and I had one session and like completely was like, fell in love and was like, what is this? This is incredible. Like I'm receiving this energy and this woman lives in New York State. Like, how is this even possible? Like I'm in New Jersey. And just feeling like there's so much more of this world that I have no idea about, and I'm just excited for the endless possibilities that there are. So I just dove in and was like, all right, I'm going to sign up for level 1. And I signed up for level 1 and immediately signed up for level 2. And then about 8 months later, I completed my master training. So like did it within a year. Yeah, a year time frame.
So that was all from one virtual session?
Yes, one distance healing. I was like, done. Yeah, I was like, I'm in. Let's go.
And what was the change for you between level 1 and level 2? Was there a big shift?
Oh, huge. I felt in the beginning, I was like, I don't know, am I doing anything?
Felt. Cheers to that.
Cheers. Am I even doing anything? And then once I did level 2, I felt like so much more empowerment of, wow, like I get to be a part of this process in Reiki and deciding like which symbols I want to use or how I want to pull Reiki through the body and what it shows up as in other people. And it just felt so much more exciting and accessible than I think level 1 did. I think level 1, I was like a new, like, you know, an infant trying to like make sense of this new world that I was jumping into. And then I got to level 2 and I was like, oh, okay, now I have like language, now I have like tools, now I have so many other things to like help me in feeling excited and like that I'm a part of this process, not just like witnessing it through the body.
That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
So has the meaning of Reiki shifted for you?
Yeah, I think
since the very beginning?
Yeah, I think it was like initially like it almost felt like, and I don't mean this in like a negative way. It felt like a parlor trick of like, look, like I can do this. Like you'll feel something, right? and then it just turned into this practice, this part of like who I am, this thing and modality that I can reach to and that I can feel connected to, not just myself, but my guides that support my journey, my healing journey. I feel so much more connected to my clients and my students, and it's just a way to like meet people like heart to heart.
That is so pure
Yeah.
and intentional. I'm like, I feel that deep in my bones when you say that.
Keep it together.
Well, whatever we need to do.
No crying on the podcast. It's fine.
No crying on the podcast. No, we can cry on the podcast. With all of that, how do you use Reiki in your daily life or in your practice? Do you have a set routine that you do every day? Does that shift? Do you find, like, when do you find yourself using it most, and has that shifted as you've gone?
Religiously, in the beginning, I was like, I will do Reiki every day and it will be set. And, I had like a corner in my bedroom with like my yoga mat out and my crystals.
The altar.
And and I will consume everything I need to about Reiki. And then over time, I've been doing this since 2020, but so about 5 years, being in this world, like it's shifted tremendously. Like I just now, will think about Reiki and just be like, oh, I want to, share Reiki with my home. I want to wrap my car in Reiki. I want to use it as I make my morning coffee. I want to, at the end of teaching a yoga class, share Reiki with the room if everyone agrees and is cool with that.
I'm like, give it to you.
But just ways that like, it feels so much more integrated in my daily life versus like I'm setting aside time to do it. It's just, it can be like a few minutes here, a few minutes there. When I feel like my energy needs a little bit more balancing, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm going to drop in and give myself like a full session, and I'm going to really sit down and journal and have, go through each chakra and feel really connected to my body and what I need to uncover right now. So it definitely ebbs and flows. There's more time. There's times where I definitely utilize Reiki a little bit more, and sometimes where I don't as much, and it's more of just like here and there. It's always something that I come back to, and that whether you use it every day or you don't, it's always going to be accessible. So I'm just remembering that mantra if I get down on myself and I'm like, oh, I should be practicing. It's like, no, it's okay. Like, just do it when you feel called.
Just seems like it's part of you at this point. Where before, it sounds like in the beginning stages, it almost feels like this separate entity that you have to tap into. Totally. And then as you start to dive into it a little bit more, there is no separation with it.
Absolutely.
And then you're like, I guess I'm just doing Reiki all the time. But then like you can intentionally set aside moments where you're like, I am going to ground myself. I'm feeling this energy, or I'm going to specifically send it to this space, or what have you, whatever you need to send it to.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
Thanks. Wow. Yeah. Reiki's the best.
Reiki's the best.
Reiki's the best. We love it.
So now you are also a Reiki master. So we kind of talked on level 1 and level 2. Was there a transition? Because I know personally there was a big jump from level 1 to level 2. It felt like
huge.
So much easier to access. It didn't feel like this full process. And it's something I feel like I can easily just kind of, I don't want to say whip it out. I feel like you can kind of just like on a whim be like, okay, let me throw this up. Intentionally, you can dive deeper like you said. But would you say that there's a similar transition from level 2 to level 3, or what was that experience like for you? Maybe paint us a picture of a personal experience first, and then we can kind of talk about generally.
I think from level 2 to level 3, what shifted was the depth of my intuition. Whew. So level 1 is like, it's so physical. It's like, okay, physically I feel these sensations in my body, or I'm seeing certain things, or I'm experiencing certain things in my physical body. And then when you go to level 2, it's so much more emotional, so much more mentally based, where you're utilizing different symbols to help in the session for yourself or for others. So there's more happening up here. And I think that when you step into mastership, it's really just like the openings that happen of trusting that intuition, of inviting things that really resonate with you, whether that's, oracle cards or crystals, sound bowls, or anything that really speaks to you. You feel so much more confident in offering that and inviting that into your Reiki space. So I definitely think it like deepens your intuition, and you're really trusting of what you're seeing and what you're experiencing and what you're what you're creating inside of Reiki. And then I think that everything just becomes naturally a little bit easier. And with how I tried to structure level 3 here is at Haven is I wanted it to be a 6-month program. And with the intention of this isn't just a training that you take, this is a training that is deeply integrated, that you feel so supported and you have everything that you need, all of your questions answered, and you feel the support of your own community too that are also like going through this process and a leveling up essentially
right.
in, you know, the work of Reiki.
So it becomes that thread like you were
Yes,
talking about.
yeah.
It's kind of ingrained in you now, and sometimes you're like, ooh, like I am doing Reiki all
Yeah.
the time, and it's just part of me now.
Yeah.
So it seems like that really hits in level
Yes.
3, where it's so integrated, and I feel like you get a taste of that in 2. You said it does feel way more like, I almost think of it as speaking a different language, like translating before you do it.
Yeah.
Versus
Yeah.
like in level 3, it seems like it's fluid.
Yeah.
Eventually with practice, the 6-month gap gives you that time to really integrate it. You said like you can do a training in a weekend or so, but how much are you really digesting, implementing that if there's no follow-up checkup? Where's the questions? How are you progressing? Where do you need to lean in a little bit more? Where do you want to lean in a little bit more? And having a mentor there to access feels so important, because sometimes I feel like we do these trainings, whether it's yoga, Reiki, Tai Chi, whatever it is, the teacher isn't always accessible.
Yeah.
And so part of that is beautiful because you're left to your own devices of exploration, and it forces you to explore. But sometimes it's nice to have that grounding hand to be like, hey, like, let's bring you back to center. And then from there, like, here's little seeds you can go explore. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Same.
could you possibly, so I know personally, I'll share that with Reiki, I haven't practice on anybody but family or friends. For me, it's more of a self-discovery. If it changes, same with yoga, then maybe it changes. I think it's first and foremost a self-discovery. Would you say the same for you?
I initially in my practice was like doing self Reiki every single day, but I did also try my best to utilize friends and family who were open to it, just because I was curious and, you know, they wanted to help and be like, oh, you're doing something really cool and this is so awesome. Like, how can I support you? I think it's almost harder to do friends and family.
No kidding.
Yeah, I think just because you love them so much and there's so much there and you like want the best for them. And sometimes you can put a lot of pressure on yourself, and it's almost easier to like, you know, do like work on someone who is maybe a little bit more of an acquaintance versus someone that you like deeply love and like care about. And yeah, so it's definitely like a personal choice, personal preference. But I say like try anyone who's like willing, right? Everyone's energy feels a little bit different, and what comes up for you and what comes up for them is always going to feel a little bit different, and you might experience different things. So it's always nice to compare and just like let that like guide you and see what is your intuition call to, what is it that you want to focus on with this person, what is it that they're looking for, and put all of that together. So
it sounds endless. Like there's so many navigations.
Yeah.
So I guess, okay, just like a personal question that I want to ask you, because this is just fun. Then we'll get into the master level, which we all want to hear about, which I want to hear about too. But what are some of the things, like the main things that you experience during a Reiki session? Because you give sessions here at Haven.
Yeah.
And I know you give sessions to other people as well, like, and different types of sessions. But what are some of, like, I want to say, your go-to experiences or sensations or things that are like very present when you personally give Reiki to people? Because I think it shows up differently for everybody, but you've been doing this a while and you do it consistently, I think is also a strong show of the depth of the practice. Yeah. Consistency is key with so much stuff. The intangible energy work that becomes very tangible, right? Yeah. But yeah, what are some things that show up for you in your sessions, just like you receive? Yeah. If you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, totally.
Like, no, that's sorry.
No, that's perfect. So definitely my hands get very, very hot, and depending on certain spots within the body, I can tell temperature shifts in my palm. So if I notice, if I'm like scanning the body, I can actually feel a change in the temperature of where the healing is needed versus not needed, which I think is like so cool.
cool.
And like, and it's such a nuance. It's such like a slight change. It's not like, you know, we're going from 60 degrees to 98. Like it's not
New Jersey weather.
Yeah. It's not that drastic, but it's subtle enough that I'm like, oh, okay, let's focus our energy here. And throughout my practice and, you know, in what my Reiki master had shared with me is like, don't be afraid to like ask the body what it needs. And, you know, target certain chakras and be willing to like call that into the space. So asking, you know, the solar plexus, what do you need right now? And just waiting for that answer, right? That answer may sometimes comes in as like a mini movie that I watch. So like, it's like if you close your eyes and like you can imagine like what your house looks like right now, right? But it's like a mini movie that I see, and it gives me something to share back to the person that I'm working on. And, you know, I feel like I only have kind of like a piece of the puzzle, right? They have the rest of it. So that's why we debrief after so we can talk about it. But so mini movies, or sometimes I'll hear messages come through auditorily. So they'll share, you know, something with me and they want me to write it down, and I'll just go ahead and scribble it out and share it with the client at the end. Sometimes, you know, I get, you know, a lot of visions or messages, and then sometimes I hear or see nothing. And it doesn't mean that Reiki isn't flowing. It's always flowing. It's just really, what does that person need at that time? Like, what is it that they are releasing or pulling through the body, or what's the message that they need to hear at their heart in order to progress to wherever they're going, whatever path that they're on. So it's like a smorgasbord.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, for sure. Of like so many different experiences, and no two clients are the same and no sessions are the same. So like even working with consistent clients, their sessions range so drastically. It really just, like I said, depends on where they're at. So
wow, that is
yeah.
so cool.
It's
and
awesome.
Just so intentional. And it sounds like too, after you've been doing these sessions for a while, it becomes less about like, okay, like, are they having a great experience? You're just in the experience. So again, it comes back to that immersion where you're just part of the experience, receiving almost, it sounds like a vessel to kind of receive the information that is present for them without any agenda on your end, but an intention on their end, maybe not. And the debrief at the end, personally, I'm like, that just seals the deal. It just wraps it all in. And you give such tangible advice and points and tools afterwards, where you don't feel like, okay, honey, just go drink water, goodbye. Like if you see ya. Like it feels very much like you're held. There's ways to implement the session that is very tangible and applicable to your daily life. Whether it's the beautiful dark chocolate that you recommend or whatever it is for the person, there's always something like, okay, I feel this, and here's how you can access that, and here's how you can implement that if you choose to, which feels so grounding in this three-dimensional world that we're living in. Yeah. So it's nice to have that and to know that that's how you also approach your sessions, which leads me into, I assume, how you would approach your trainings after. I mean, I know that for level 1 and 2, but so if we could dive in to the master level, and I know we've broken it up into 3 different segments over the course of 6 months, but could you take us into, and it doesn't have to be super specific, but like 1, 2, and 3, like what we'll be exploring, and that way they get to know
exactly
like a
what
taste.
it looks like. Okay, cool.
And I get to know a taste.
Morgan signed up for level 3.
Yes, I did.
So for level 3, yes, we split it up into 3 different segments. So the first segment we meet in September, and that's to review any information that I wasn't able to share in level 1 and level 2. Reiki is endless. Like there's so many styles of Reiki. There's so much information that's out there, but there's certain things that I wanted to make sure that you know before leading into your master attunement. So then that way you have all these different tools to choose from in your arsenal of like, okay, what do I want to gravitate towards today? What's going to help me feel grounded, or like have an energetic hygiene practice and just feel a little bit more in control of like taking on other people's emotions, or even transmuting your own emotions that are coming up for you. So that's what we review in our first segment. And there's also, we review your responsibilities over the 6 months. So there is homework. There's homework.
I'm like kind of excited about it though. I'm not gonna lie. It's homework I want.
But the homework is like, it's not meant to be like arduous. It's really just meant to hold accountability in your Reiki practice. Like, I think that's the number one obstacle for people is like, how do I have a consistent Reiki practice? Or how do I, use this every single day? And by being part of this training, like, we give you homework in order to meet those goals of accountability, and then also have like your support of your fellow like trainees who are also like going through the same thing. And it's okay if you skip a day, it's not a big deal. But there are certain things that you want to make sure to do throughout that practice. So we'll review those responsibilities together. And that's, to help you also in preparing the body for the upgrade that level 3 is going to be, which is being able to be a container for more energy, right? So like the jump from level 1 to level 2, like you became a bigger container of Reiki to flow. And the same thing is like for level 3, you're upgrading, you're like allowing more energy to pass through you. So that's why we need that practice. We need that accountability.
Oh, I just picture it like in my cells.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're all turning on like little light bulbs.
Yeah. Fully. You're glowing.
We're glowing.
Yeah.
You get a glow up with level 3.
And then flash forward to our second segment. That is going to be in November. And that is going to start our master curriculum. So you'll receive your master attunement at that time. You'll receive the master symbol, and you'll understand the attunement process, and you'll be able to practice the attunement process. Whoa. Cool. Whoa. So at the end of your training, so once you complete your training, if you would like to go on to teach, you can. If you're like, no, I'm good on teaching, that's okay too, right? It's really, what are your goals? But I want every single student to know what it feels like to practice it. So then that way, if you do decide to teach, you're not looking at your manual being like, what do I do? Right. I don't know. This is all so confusing. So we review that and you practice that for yourself. And then in February, we meet for our third segment, and that is really a culmination of level 1, 2, and 3. Like, that is like, let's look at how far we've come. Like, let's just take a moment to like bask in like where we were and where we are now. What were your goals that you set in the beginning of this 6 months, and where did you see yourself going, and where are you currently? Like, what does your practice look like? How have things shifted since your master attunement in November? And just allowing space for people to kind of unpack that and, who they're transforming into and who they plan to be. We also talk about how to build a business, right? So if you do want to build a Reiki business, maybe, you want to work with people, you want to work with animals, you want to do distance sessions, you want to do home cleansings. Like, there's so many different avenues that you can consider when thinking about building your own business that really resonates with your purpose and like what lights you up, So we do all of that in our third segment. And then there's also a closing ceremony, which I'm super excited about. So excited.
We love our flower mandalas.
Oh, totally. But a closing ceremony to just help in integrating all of this information and to feel grounded and rooted in all of it. So I'm really excited about that. That's the thing I'm most looking forward to. And also like your certificate at the end. So
that's so nice. And I feel like people come from so many different places in life, and because we meet them here at the studio, so they're coming in from their day job or wherever they're coming from, and just hearing the other fields that some of them work in, it'd be really cool to see them implement it in those fields if they choose to. Yeah. Totally. Even if it's subtle, kind of like at the end of a yoga class where you're like, I'm just going to offer this if you'd like to receive it. You're not saying that out loud, but just kind of like intentionally sending the energy, and just how powerful that will be for the ripple effect of the world. So I think if anything, it's like you sound like this beam of light, which you already are without Reiki, and then it just gets brighter and you're able to kind of like almost direct it or channel that in a way that is more intentional. Yeah. Which sounds incredible. It also sounds like 6 months of therapy, in like a very good way. I'm like,
we are definitely going deep. That is
In
for
the best
sure.
way.
But in a way that like allows you to do it in a way that's safe and mindful and not just jumping into the deep end. Like there is an easeful like way that we can slowly take this, and that's why I think the 6 months is a perfect period of time in whatever you choose to discover. Like whatever's supposed to come through will come through in a way that like feels natural to you. So
wow. So even if you don't want to be a practitioner per se, or if you don't want to teach, you can still learn some tools for yourself that will help in your daily life and your daily routine that will just kind of enhance your overall experience on this planet. And I think it almost might give you a different language and vision. We were talking about like the actual change of language of translating in your head. It might seem to flow and more effortless, which we all want that.
Right? Like it's, I joke and say like, oh, it's magic. Like, it's,
but it is.
But it is. You know, and it just gives you the empowerment to decide like, what do I want to create today? Like if a day's not going the day, you know, the way that you planned for it to go, like it doesn't mean that you're stuck in that. Like you have so many tools to choose and to decide, okay, how do I want to turn this around? What is going to help me in like pulling myself out of this? What is that going to look like? How can I, you know, honor my intuition? How can I let that be at the forefront instead of kind of just running in the background, right? So these are all things that we uncover in level 3, and I'm so excited and so grateful that I get to do it here with you guys.
Oh, I'm so grateful to have you.
Yeah.
I'm like so excited to talk about it and to experience and to know that the experience is coming up.
Yeah.
And so thinking about level 3 and thinking about the group of people that will be present in level 3, what is your intention for them? Maybe how do you want to leave them feeling at the end of the training?
Ooh.
Like what are, maybe you give me a couple words or just you want to elaborate a little bit more, and I don't know, because I sometimes feel like that wraps up the whole training in such a meaningful way with that like little leave them with, or you hope that they retain at the end. Obviously people are going to retain things in different ways.
Great question. You've been nailing all of these questions.
Wow,
yeah,
thanks.
Like interview, okay. Reporting live.
It's the Bali Corner. It brings out a new side of us.
Yeah. I would like for people hold it together.
10 years.
Yeah, here we go.
Comes.
Ooh, all right. Wow, that's like a really hard question.
Oh, I know. We can always like pause and do that for round 2.
No. Wow. No, I just feel like I would like for people to feel powerful. I would also like them to feel connected to God. This is so hard.
I know. Because it feels like the deepest purpose of why you do it. I think that's why it just comes from such a deep place.
Ooh. Yeah, just feeling, jeez. It's fine.
You will feel all the feels the deeper you go into your practice.
No, tears are good. Tears are good.
We love tears.
But no, just feeling like the power in themselves, and that this is a birthright.
Oof.
Yeah. Like it is not like, it's not like, oh, if you know, Reiki is kind of like gatekept. Like, no, it's meant to be shared. It's meant to be practiced. It's meant to be talked about. It's meant to just share more with the world. It's like, it's just meant to be.
To continue on.
Jesus.
Well, it just feels like this giant, ancient energy practice that's so much bigger than you or me. This room, this space.
Yeah, fully.
And I think carrying that legacy on and that practice on is what's so important to the roots. Whether it's going to shift and change as we get more modern. It's beautiful, and it's just incredible that people like you are so passionate about it to continue sharing it, and that you see it's important enough to share in how much it helps people. You're doing no harm with Reiki. It's only love, and to continue empowering people, like you said, with those tools to then keep the legacy moving on and keep this practice moving on so that the practice never ceases to exist. Like, so important for this world, right? Now I'm gonna cry. What?
Well, it's forgotten for so long, and like hearing you say, like, preserving these ancient roots, you know, it was forgotten, it was rediscovered. Like, there's so much power in that, but that this is, you know, texts of talking about a hands-on healing modality go back thousands of years, right? So I'm just so grateful to be able to like be part of this lineage and be part of this modality that like has helped so many people and will continue to do so now that we rediscovered it and we know that it's staying around. So
we are so grateful. I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful
to have you here offering it in this space. It really feels like it makes it complete. It just doesn't feel right without like an energetic practice of someone who's so intentional and cares this much about it. I'm like, you don't see that. I mean, you do, right? But I feel like it's not often that it's so close to home, and it just feels really special. And I feel really fortunate I get to experience it with you and then share it with people around us. Yeah. So there's one final question that I have for you. Hit me. It's not as deep.
Oh my God.
You're like, no.
I'm crying too much.
Never too much. Catch them. So one thing, and that's going to be a selfish question. Okay. The energetic hygiene that you always help us with, and I'm constantly being like, Justina, do you feel this? What is happening? What is maybe one tip that you can leave with people who maybe don't even practice Reiki? Just an energetic hygiene tip that it can be one you do or one that just feels really right for this moment that they can implement like right now when they leave.
Yeah. I love
when
that.
They leave, when they turn this off, what? They're here in this room.
Hello, audience.
Hello.
So I think one thing that just as you were talking, like popped into my head, like the power of visualization, right? So something as simple as if you feel like you're going into a space that's going to take up a lot of energy, or you're leaving a space that just completely drains your battery, like just imagining a golden light, like almost like you're tracing the outline of your body, right? And just allow that golden light to soak up anything that you might have taken on that's not yours, or just providing protection for yourself, right? And just taking a few moments to imagine that golden light tracing around your body and then filling you with exactly what you need. Like, and it can be quick. It doesn't have to be like a 5-minute thing. It could literally just be a few breaths. I'm imagining the golden light tracing around me, and I'm taking a big breath in of what I need, and I'm releasing everything that I don't. And then like on to your next thing, right?
I love that.
Yeah. Like how powerful it is to just like intend for things to just be. And as long as you intend for that energy to go, it will. So just trusting in that and try it out for yourself and see how you like it and how it resonates. And if you want to change the color, change the color. If you want to add something, add something. Like trust your own guidance on that. Like what does your body and your mind, what's it calling for in that moment, and see where it takes you. So
I love that anyone can do that at any time.
Anytime.
No matter where you are.
Yeah.
So important and so powerful. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
So where can we reach you if they have more questions about the training or getting an individual session, or they just want to connect with you because they resonate with your energy? What's the best way to reach you? And you can always email Haven, but there's some more direct ways.
Yeah. So if you see me in the studio, feel free to just like come over, say hi, introduce yourself. More than happy to talk with you. But you can also email me at reiki@haven@gmail.com. So excited to be able to connect with new people that are interested in Reiki. It's definitely growing in popularity, which is awesome. And people are now kind of recognizing the name. No question is a silly question. I encourage them all. So I'm here to share like what the healing modality is, how it works, and any questions that you have. So So
Perfect. And she also teaches restorative once a month, and she'll teach heated binding once a month. You can catch her at community classes on Sunday morning, but you're always here.
yeah, literally.
So you
always
can't miss
here.
her.
So-
As long as you come here, you will see Justina, and she is
Yeah.
right there with a big smile,
Yeah.
ready to talk to you, give you a hug, cry with you, whatever you need.
Totally. Yeah.
But thanks for being here with us in this little Bali Corner.
Thank you.
We hope to share more in the future, and we hope you have some questions.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Love you.
Love you. Come here.
Oh, I splish splashed. It's okay. Just so excited to be here.